Hi everyone, Christian Young here from the United Australia Party. What's happening in Parliament next week affects all of us, and you need to understand this, and you need to understand the impact that if it's voted in is going to significantly impact on your way of life here in the state of Queensland. So what's happening next week, and I believe it's on the 29th of March in Parliament, the Queensland Parliament is voting whether these laws or these mandates that have been in place under the state of emergency, so temporarily enforcement and all of these different things that we've been seeing over the last 2 years, the Queensland government is voting onto whether to make them law or legislation, bring them as part of legislation. So no longer would they be temporary under a state of emergency, they'll become permanent. And effectively what that means is at any point in time, the Queensland government can say, well, state of emergency, here's the laws, let's do it. If you think about your experience after the last 2 years, think about some of these decisions that are made and the impact it's had on your life. If you're a business owner, teacher, doctor, doesn't matter what you do, doesn't matter what sort of parliamentary party you support, think about your way of life in Queensland should this be voted in. We can look back now in the last 2 years and just think about some of these laws and mandates, and upon reflection and what the evidence shows, there was no basis for a lot of these things. And this is what they're looking to bring in. Is there a state of emergency now? Look around the world. What are the other countries doing? Everyone's dropping things. Why are we here in Queensland looking to actually bring this into Parliament, make this legislation and go down this pathway? What's going to happen to Queensland as a state should this happen? What precedent is setting up in the future? What I also understand as well around this is if once it gets in Queensland, then the other states will look to do this as well. So this is, as I said at the start, this isn't about politics. I don't understand even why we're not seeing all of the politicians talking about this. Local members, state members, even federal people here based in Queensland. This is serious stuff. We got to stop this from happening if we want to protect our way of life. This is happening next week. This should be talked about everywhere. I'm rambling a little bit now because I'm really passionate about this. How can we be in this situation where we have a vote next week that can materially affect our way of life with no basis as to why we're doing this? So I know there's people going to Parliament House next week to be on the Tuesday night and then the Wednesday as well, to let our voices be heard that this is not okay. Another way you can help is find the details of your local state MP in your area, let them know, call them, email them, do whatever you can, go to their Facebook page, publicly put that on, or Facebook messenger them and let them know, let your voice be heard, write them a letter. We need to be active in this. We can't sit back on this one, in particular if you are based in Queensland. So that's the call to action on this. As always, I finished the video. If you truly want your vote to make a difference at the upcoming federal election, make sure you put the Greens last. So if we're talking about in the seat of Dawson, Greens last, Labor second last, and Liberal third last. And then put the smaller freedom parties first. Ideally, it's United Australia Party number 1, so Christian Young, and followed by other freedom parties. At the end of the day, freedom parties first, major parties last. Thank you for listening. Please share this, please get this message out, and I'll talk to you again soon. Bye-bye.